All right, and we're back for another episode of the Sports Department Podcast with Justin Valentovic, Stephen Clark, and Stephen Bologna, and we are here to break down the two championship games in the NFC and the AFC, the final week of football before the Super Bowl. We're getting, snubbed out of the Pro Bowl, so like usual, this is still the final week of normal football in the the postseason. But Super Bowl 2 weeks away, but we have the Packers and the Bucs going at it in the first game in the NFC Championship game, and then the Bills and the Chiefs with the recently cleared Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game at around 6:40. But before we get into those games, guys, what's going on?
Nothing. Same old, same old.
Oh yeah, man. Feels good to be back. Doing another podcast. We have some good games. Very excited. We're to talk about Patrick Mahomes getting cleared, which is big for the AFC Championship. A fun NFC Championship game between two of the greatest of all time. So a lot of fun football this weekend. The last week with two games on Sunday and then just the Super Bowl. So it's kind of sad to see the season come to an end, but also very, very exciting.
I'm with you, Clark.
Yeah, so let's get into the NFC Championship game where we're seeing the number 5 seed Tampa Bay Buccaneers going up to Lambeau, the number 1 seed. So the NFC was going to be running through Lambeau, and it is Aaron Rodgers is hosting his first NFC Championship game of his career, which is insane to think, while Tom Brady is going to his 14th championship game first in the NFC. Obviously, Gronk still thinks they're in the AFC, but I'm sure we'll touch on that. Little CTE there from Gronk. Never hurt anybody initially. But
I mean, kind of hurt him.
Yeah. Well,
but yeah,
the matchup is set for the NFC. Tom Brady could get another first on his resume of many firsts as being the first quarterback to lead his team to their home stadium hosting the Super Bowl. Last time we came close was the Vikings with the Minnesota Miracle, and then they fell short. But, with the game being in Miami a lot of times, or, with it being in New York the one time, never any shot in happening. But Tom Brady, he could do it, but he has to go through Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to do so. So let's start it off with either of you two. What do you think of this game initially?
Sure, I'll take the reins here. Listen, this is going to be a fun matchup. We've seen this matchup once before in the season, and it went but not the way most people expected. The Packers got blown out by 20 plus points. I'm not expecting that to happen this week. The Buccaneers, they did beat a tough Saints team. I will give them that, but the Packers are just a different animal. I think Aaron Rodgers in his home stadium with fans knows that he has to step up to get to that Super Bowl. And I think he's going to do that. You pair that with Devontae Adams, Aaron Jones, a really good defense. And this is sorry, I got the house phone ringing here, hotline bling.
We get more calls on a podcast than some radio shows do. But just like those shows, you're not picking up either.
Buccaneers without Antonio Brown, which is going to hurt. And this is last week, Mike Evans had a couple catches, 1 touchdown. Chris Godwin had a bad game. Antonio Brown had a bad game. And that's not you can't do that against the Packers team, especially with Jair Alexander probably going to be locking up one of those 2 stud receivers. So if that happens, I think the Packers are going to have this one. And I don't know, it's supposed to snow maybe?
It's green. It's always supposed to snow. It's Green Bay.
Yeah, we thought about that with the Buffalo-Baltimore game too, and it wound up
just nothing.
Flurrying, if anything.
I'll get the Doppler up.
Oh, baby.
Flurry. Get it? LaFleury? Matt LaFleur? No, I'll shut up. Yeah, that was a rough joke. But the offensively, this could be a really fun game to watch, mainly just because, yes, the Packers have a good defense. Bucs don't really have that great of a defense, but it's going to be offense when you're going to see Aaron Rodgers go against Tom Brady. It's going to be a classic Patriots game from Tom Brady again, where you're going to see him, Ronald Jones and Leonard Fournette getting the bulk of the carries and Tom Brady taking, some calculated shots downfield. But other than that, they're playing, 5 to 10 yards downfield and then running it a lot.
Yeah, you got to rely on the run game in this one. I don't think Antonio Brown being out is a big hurt just because you got a lot of receivers over there. You got your Godwin, you got Evans, you got Tyler Johnson, who I never even knew was until he made that insane catch last week.
Scotty Miller, who got relegated to the bench after Antonio Brown came in.
Exactly, Scotty Miller, and
a whole bunch of tight ends.
Cameron Brate, phenomenal tight end. Rob
O.J. Howard, Gronk.
Yeah, so you're fine. And your running backs can catch the ball for the most part too. Roe Jones and Fournette, if they want to do a little check down to them, they can do the job too. It'll be an offensive battle. It's hard. It is a hard one for me because I love my boy Tom. It's January. January Tom is usually really, really well. January Tom in the cold is historically really, really well. But
also Aaron Rodgers is having his best season of his entire career.
MVP caliber season.
You know, Devontae Adams is the best receiver in football this year. Aaron Jones, when he's healthy and carrying the ball, he is a difference maker. The Packers are awesome. And, you know, I think we're getting past the point of like, oh, if they, you know, they use the Jordan Love pick on a wide receiver, where would they be? Lazard and Valdez-Scantling got him this far with Devontae Adams. You know, maybe if they used it on another linebacker, another defensive back, you know, a D lineman here, like a pass rusher, you know, maybe we'd see them going over the top. But I think we're getting past the point of, you know, they should use it on an offensive weapon for Rodgers because the weapons they have got him to the number 1 seed and got him to the NFC Championship game.
I also think it's important to note that Matt LaFleur coached in this game last season. So he has experience here. I mean, when was the last time Bruce Arians coached in a championship game?
Well, the last time he was in the playoffs with the Cardinals when he didn't have Palmer and they had that disaster against the Panthers when they were on like their 3rd string quarterback.
That was 5 years ago, pushing 6 now.
And then outside of like that run, he only, you know, he was coordinators with the Colts and the Steelers and everything before that. So this is really, you know, he's relying on Tom Brady as much as everyone else is to get him through the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, Tom's the coach of the team. I'm saying that right now. Bruce
Arians alluded to that.
Yeah.
Where he said we're letting Tom coach.
If he has a bad game, it's not going to go well. I mean, you know, you talk about Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. Jair Alexander is allowing negative yards per game in the playoffs so far. Ridiculous. I mean, so one of those guys are going to be, you know, solidified. You had that with Zadarius Smith and the Smith Bros, as Justin knows.
Yeah,
the Smith Bros.
You know, with arguably the best safety duo in the league. I just think Green Bay's defense is going to step up more against Tom and make him get the ball out quick and force turnovers. Meanwhile, the Buccaneers defense, I think Rodgers knows that he has to scramble out of the pocket and get it to his receivers fast enough, and I think that's going to propel them to the victory.
Because outside of like Devin White, you know, being all over the field last week and, you know, single-handedly winning that game for the Bucs defense, you know, Antoine Winfield Jr. is a nice safety. You know, Devin White and Levante David are nice linebackers. Shaq Barrett's a good pass rusher. You know, they're getting Vita Vea back too, which is big because he is an absolute monster inside. You know, a lot of beef in the D-line there for the Bucs, but their biggest issue are their corners. It has been since Rondé Barber left, maybe. Honestly.
Revis.
that brief layover in Tampa.
Jesus. Yeah, that's what's going to kill them. It's the secondary. Like you said, Justin Vita Vea is back. Great defensive line. They have decent linebackers. I'm just repeating what you said, but secondary sucks, and that's what's going to kill them.
It's literally Antoine Winfield and nobody else.
Sean Murphy-Bunting, my guy.
He's been good, but he's not going to.
Got a pick.
We'll put it this way: Devontae Adams got the best of Jalen Ramsey. I don't think Murphy-Bunting's going to fare that much better, if at all.
He's different. Yeah.
I just want to say real quick, I hate Bruce Arians.
Why?
He said a quote a couple weeks ago saying this was on Antoine Winfield. Antoine Winfield should be the defensive rookie of the year. 7.5 sacks isn't anything to what he's done. What other rookie had 7.5 sacks? Chase Young.
Well, technically, we drafted Buckner with our first pick.
Okay.
I guess
he's a rookie to us. Damn it.
He's a rookie to us. All right, final picks, I guess.
All right, let's do it.
Oh, whoa, relax.
Oh,
okay.
Justin. So we're gonna do our final picks, and then we're gonna go to a break, and then when we come back, we'll
then Justin want to talk more about this game.
That story is completely blown out of proportion. I did not run the show on air. Just suggesting.
Who do you got, Clark? Let's hear it.
Fine, let's go to picks.
Going to me first?
Going to picks now.
Yeah,
okay.
Your idea.
3 words this time.
Oh God. Well, Tom has 2 middle names, so that'd be 4. Oh, what the hell?
Oh, Paco. Packers taking the win here, ladies and gentlemen.
Did you order that on Amazon for this?
No. My dad's friend went on a business trip once to the Green Bay area and brought this back for him.
Okay.
Go Pack Go. Those
wow.
are my 3 words.
When was the last time you put that on?
About like a week ago when I found it. But before that, probably 10 years ago.
Oh, a little crusty.
Yeah,
Okay. Steve, you're up then.
Okay, let's do it. Clark, I'll hop on the flight with you to Wisconsin.
Let's go, baby.
I'm riding the cheeseheads on this one. This seems like a destined season for them. They draft a QB in the first round. Aaron Rodgers is pissed off, goes for the MVP. He's going to get a Super Bowl and laugh in that front office's face and leave for Indianapolis. No, I'm kidding. Not that last part.
Oof, maybe when he's like 47, maybe.
Yeah,
I think the Packers take this one. I'm going to go 31-24.
Oof. Well, oof. You guys are going with, Rodgers, which it makes sense. League MVP, one of the best offenses in football, if not the best offense this year in football. Defense, a lot better, but I'm going with experience and aged like fine wine. Tom Brady, he's taken the Bucs. You're talking about how the Packers are a team of destiny. Tom Brady is on a mission. He's going for ring number 7 at this point. Oh my God. He's going for ring number 7. He's getting to there to get that opportunity. He's taking the Bucs home. Tom Brady's winning this game. He's going into Lambeau and winning. And you know what? It'll come back with a defensive play by the Bucs to seal the game. Bucs will win 24-17.
Interesting.
Wow.
For a guy that hates Brady, you're riding on him this one.
He's shown a lot, and we alluded to it last week, how, Bill or Brady, the chicken or the egg discussion, how it's leaning more towards Brady now, so I'm buying into it. They've looked good consistently, outside of the Washington game where they had to shake the rust off, and maybe they just, were caught, with their pants down a little bit against the football team. They look good. You ever heard that saying? Like you're caught with your pants down?
I've heard that saying.
I've never.
You've never heard that?
Justin loves getting caught with his pants down.
No, never happened.
But like back to the whole Brady thing really quickly. He's older than a lot of the old heads in the league. Like
he's the oldest head in the league.
I know, but I know Eli just retired. But the Eli, Ben, Rivers era.
Oh yeah, all the old guard at quarterback.
Yeah, he's older than all of them, and he's still better than every single one of them right now. That's just insane.
And honestly, this won't be his last season unless he wins it, retires on the field. But honestly, at that point, if he wins it, he's coming back for number 8, if we're being quite honest.
That's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
But looking at a quarterback in the twilight of their career, but we've also been talking about the twilight of Brady's career for like 6 years at this point. He's looked the best. Maybe honestly, Phil this year in his last year, as we know now, he looked good, but you look at Ben, which could be coming to a close, Eli, which came to a close, Breeze even, they, and Peyton too, they all looked bad going out.
Yeah.
This is the best old quarterback we've ever seen towards the tail end of his career, which it's coming to an end soon. Like it has to.
We're more towards the end than towards the beginning.
He was adamant on playing till 45. He's 43, 44 at the end of this year, and 45 at the end of next season. He's setting up to tee off on hole 18 at this point. But I think he gets one more go and gets to the Super Bowl. Rodgers has to wait one more year.
Are you really that high on their win against the Saints when Drew Brees played so badly?
It's a factor, but also the Packers have to come down to earth eventually, right? Because even the Chiefs last year, where they were blowing teams out, blowing teams out, putting up 30+ points, resting Mahomes in the fourth quarter, they were a dominant offense, but they, didn't come out and blow the doors off the Niners in the Super Bowl. We've never seen one true team as one of the best offenses in football run roughshod and never get slowed down at any point in time. And if Tom Brady can have his defense slow them down, he's going to go for the kill. And that's what's going to happen. Similar to like what happened with the Broncos against the Seahawks when Peyton was breaking every single type of passing record in a single season, and they got absolutely obliterated in the Super Bowl.
My question is, if the number one defense in the league couldn't slow down this offense, what makes the Buccaneers capable of doing that?
It's just a feeling. If the Bucs have a shot, it's going to be a shootout. That's the only reason.
And that's how I see it.
It'll be a great game.
It's going. I think this will be. I think this will honestly be better than the AFC Championship game.
Ooh, bold prediction over here.
That's a hot take.
So with that, let's talk about the AFC Championship.
Uh-huh.
Clark is woken up now. So we got the Buffalo Bills traveling to Kansas City to take. This is a podcast.
You caught me.
Well, I wish I don't ever. But with that, the Kansas City Chiefs, the number 1 seed, are hosting the number 2 seed. The Buffalo Bills looking to go back to the Super Bowl for the first time since they lost it 4 straight times in like 94. That poor fan base. If
To
they
the whole
win,
NFC East.
yeah. Did they?
They lost to the Redskins, the Giants, and the Cowboys twice.
That's right. Oh, except the irrelevant Eagles at that point, but who cares about them?
New coach.
They're still irrelevant. Oh, and will not go good at all. They'll be looking for a new coach in 2 years just because Philly will cut his head off and run him out of town. No fault of his own.
Nope.
But it's a 39 when you get a 39-year-old OC who hasn't called plays as a head coach, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Tidbit, we'll get into the coaching carousel in the offseason podcast, but that's my take on the Eagles hire. So let's get back to the AFC Championship game. If the Bills win, Buffalo will literally be set on fire and burned to the ground.
Fun.
But Kansas City, with Patrick Mahomes getting cleared, they, obviously are the favorite, but they're not quite the juggernaut they were last year, winning by slim margins, really not blowing any teams out as a whole. So how are we feeling about this game? So Clark, let's start with you.
This is my game of the weekend. It's one or the other. You pick the other one. I think this one's going to be fantastic. It's two of the best quarterbacks, young quarterbacks in the league right now. I'm very happy Mahomes is cleared because I feel like it wouldn't have been a competition. It wouldn't have been a game at all if Mahomes wasn't cleared. So I'm glad he's cleared. I just really like what this Buffalo team's doing on offense and defense. I just don't think the Chiefs defense is going to be able to step up against Buffalo. That's going to be the main part of this game. If Josh Allen competes like Josh Allen has been competing throughout the playoffs and throughout the whole season, they're looking really good. But if we see the Mahomes from last year and the year before, the MVP season Mahomes and the playoff Mahomes that come back against the Texans and all that stuff from last year, it could swing towards Kansas City. So I think this is a coin flip game. I know we're not going to give predictions until we're done talking about it, but I think it'd be really, really close.
I really like Buffalo in this one. It's just weird to me that Patrick Mahomes couldn't even walk off that field. And here he is on the following Wednesday practicing in full and today getting cleared to go 100%.
Well, and that's the thing. He's cleared of concussion protocol, but he also messed up his foot a little bit, beforehand. So that injury could also be more of a factor than whatever his, scrambled eggs of a brain is at this point.
CTE riddled.
If he can't move and escape out of the pocket like he can, that's a big part of his game and a big part of the Chiefs game where, he runs out, broken plays, look downfield, chuck it down 40 yards to Travis Kelce, right? If that's taken out of there, oh boy, because they also don't have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, I don't think.
So they don't? Is that official? Or
I just got a tweet about who's playing and who's not. I'll look into it.
Yeah, I thought I saw out, but I wasn't really.
They still have Darrell Williams, Lev Bell. They still have a decent running game, a hard running game, like really like tough guys running the ball. But I agree with Steve on this one too. I'm leaning towards the Bills here. I really am, just because I don't believe in the Chiefs as much as I did in other years now. I really don't.
Edwards-Helaire is questionable.
Okay.
He might play.
Not officially if he's in yet.
He might play.
But like again, Mahomes, it takes the average NFL player 19 days to like get out of a concussion. Here's Mahomes 4 days later, perfectly fine. It's just crazy that he is able to do that, and I don't know.
And if he can't be all systems go at that point.
No, and if he takes one bad hit too.
Well, that's the thing. Like, yes, he cleared concussion protocol. That doesn't necessarily mean he had a concussion, but seeing him off that hit, something was going on there. Like, he was on Jupiter. Like, he wasn't all there.
Yeah.
Ever since he had that leg injury last year, that foot injury, whatever it was, like mid last season last year.
The QB sneak where he like blew out his knee, right?
Yeah,
Not blew it out, but he dislocated it.
Ever since then, he almost hasn't been the same, I felt like.
He's not being as aggressive as a runner, which, you want your franchise quarterback to not be, but also, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but does it seem like every time he slides or gets hit running, he always comes up gimpy? Like, he always looks like he tweaks something?
Yeah. He could be injury prone. He's still very new to the league. We don't know this stuff about Patrick Mahomes. This is only his third year as a starter, 4 years.
Third as a starter, fourth in the NFL.
Yeah, he's still very, very new to the league. We could be discovering stuff about him every single day that we just don't know about yet. And it's scary because they put so much money into this guy, and you never know. You can have a career, knock on wood, I pray that he doesn't. He can have a career-ending injury. You never know with guys like this who are injury prone, but I'm just not feeling them. I know they're a phenomenal team, phenomenal offense, pretty good
But it
defense.
just seems like the Bills of this year are the Chiefs of last year.
It does, right?
Where they're like, there's just kind of one, you guys feel it with the Packers where it's like, this is their year. Like, this feels like the Bills, like, this is their year. Yeah, other than a Hail Mary loss, this team's 14-2.
Yeah. I think look out for Stephon Diggs to have one of the best games of the season on Sunday. I mean, I don't know who's guarding him. This Chiefs defense is severely overrated. I think the only reason it's good is because Spagnuolo's a really good coordinator. I'm going to expect him to send a lot of blitzes towards Josh Allen's way. Maybe have a QB spy on him.
Well, the issue for them is like their only sense of pressure comes from their D line because their linebackers, they're more 4-3 linebackers and don't really rush. Anthony Hitchens, he plays pass coverage, but then when your primary pass rush is Chris Jones and Frank Clark, like, yeah, that's good. But you also, like, we saw the Eagles of when they went on their Super Bowl run, just 30 D linemen just coming in rotations and just constant pressure. And if they can't contain Josh Allen can run a lot better than Patrick Mahomes can, and he makes up for a lot of the running deficiencies that they have on their offense.
Yeah, their secondary is very average, I would say. The Chiefs,
bad.
I
think it's
Ward,
under.
Rashad Breeland, Daniel Sorensen. It's just
like outside of Tyrann Mathieu, but he's not even playing. He's phenomenal. But he's not even playing deep half the time. He's playing, in the box for the most point. So he's basically a linebacker.
He's basically Jamal Adams.
Yes.
Exactly.
But catches interceptions.
But bad defenses need to do that. They need to have their top guys.
Contract.
Yeah. they need to do that though. Bad defenses. They have to have your top guys play the middle of the field like that because they're not good. But
it's
I think you go, Justin.
Well, I was gonna say because like you look at the Chiefs and it's like, oh, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Travis Kelce, Le'Veon Bell, Darrell Williams. Like, yeah, they have a lot of great weapons. But, outside of the Mahomes injury, last week, they didn't really pick up the slack as well as you would think superstar receivers would do. Yes, I know Chad Henne was there, but Chad Henne was also making plays and getting people, and they were getting open other than the one duck he threw. But I don't know. I just feel like with the way the Bills handled the Ravens, the run defense is going to get taken out. Like, they're running the ball for the Chiefs is going to get taken out of the question. They're going to have to throw it. And when you throw it, eventually mistakes will be made.
I think that that Buffalo's offense cannot be slowed down by the Chiefs defense. However, I think Buffalo's defense has the ability to at least somewhat neutralize this Chiefs offense to where they're not having a touchdown every drive. There's going to be some 3-and-outs. There's going to be some stalls in no man's land 40, between the 40s. And for that, I think this game is really going to test Josh Allen to see if he could be the future of this franchise. It certainly looks like it the way he played this season. And I think Sean McDermott's a fantastic coach. However, on the other sideline, we're seeing one of the greatest coaches in history. I mean, second time going to 3 straight AFC championships at home. I mean, other than Bill Belichick, I mean, we don't really see that. So I think that experience is going to help. I'm going to save my prediction for a little bit until we're ready. But I think the Bills hold a really good chance here.
Speaking of Bill Belichick, just going back to the NFC really quickly. If Tom gets to the Super Bowl, I think Tom was the leader in that duo.
You can't say it wasn't Tom. I mean,
yeah, even if Tom doesn't win it, but
he
just
brought
to
the
get
Buccaneers
back
to
there.
the NFC Championship, just like that.
3 of these teams were in the basement when we started watching football. Like the Chiefs had Matt Castle, the Bucs had like Josh Freeman and like the remnants of Brad Johnson and a carousel of quarterbacks, and the Bills had Kyle Orton, right? But now 3 of they're all legitimate Super Bowl contenders now.
Yeah. All 3 teams, 4, including the Packers, who are always basically good throughout their lifetime with Favre and Rodgers. But this is like I said when I first started talking about this game: Bills, Chiefs. It'll be a really good game. I think is this the later game at night?
This is the night game.
This is the night game, deservingly so. I guess we'll start on with our predictions. I'll start first again. I don't mind. I'll go.
You have a hat this time?
I don't.
You
I
have
don't know
a table
what I would wear.
just in case.
I do have a table, and that exactly leads to my pick.
Do you want to reenact said table?
If the Bills win the Super Bowl,
you'll jump through a table?
Maybe.
Will you light it on fire?
No.
Carlo.
Will you light yourself on fire?
And then jump through the table?
No.
Okay.
I'm going with the Buffalo Bills, plain and simple.
Okay. Love it. Justin.
Me?
What is no. Listen. What is your favorite place to go get wings?
Sharky's in Clifton.
Okay, no. A second favorite then.
Wingstop's pretty good.
Third favorite.
I don't mind making them at home.
Fourth favorite.
Oh, where you go for breakfast? Buffalo Wild Wings.
Clark, what is the first name of that restaurant? Buffalo.
I had to think for a second.
Of course you did. I'm going with the Bills here.
Buffalo.
As much as I feel in my heart that I think the Chiefs might win this one, I'm going with the gut feeling, as Justin always tells me to go with. So I think Buffalo has what it takes. I think Josh Allen, if he plays well and feeds Stephon Diggs, they get up early and their defense holds Mahomes a little bit. I think they're going to the bowl, Justin.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, in the words of the great Chris Berman, nobody circles the wagon like the Buffalo Bills. I'm hopping on that wagon. We're getting Buffalo versus the Bucs in the Super Bowl. Every Bills fan's nightmare. They finally get to the Super Bowl and have to face Tom Brady.
Oh my God. We're either
I think that's the
really smart on our post championship game podcast, or we're gonna look really stupid for this.
I'll tell you what, though. I think Bucs Bills is the least matchup I want to see.
I always try to do that with my dad, where we look at the entire playoff bracket and be like, what's the least marketable or appealing matchup? Usually it was the Texans and like when the Cardinals would get in. But now the Texans aren't there, thank God.
It would have been Titans Bears.
Yeah, that would have been the worst. But I think out of these four teams, but even with the Bills, you have the whole story of, the four falls of Buffalo and the four straight losses. So it's like, is it really that bad? Like any possible outcome is a great matchup. Can't say it's a great game, but it'll be a good matchup on paper.
Yeah.
Chiefs and Bucs is kind of
You got the stories of the old and the new.
Kind of like Brady passing the torch in a way.
Yeah, but I feel like the Chiefs would just murk them. Murk them.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
So we're all going Buffalo here.
Yes.
Joe, who couldn't be with us on the pod today because he was running some errands and doing some other stuff, picked the same as Steve and I. He went Packers and Bills. So it's exciting, very exciting. We didn't hear anything from Jesse, but maybe if we can do for the Super Bowl podcast, have all five of us on. That'd be cool. A big special occasion.
Yeah.
Since all five of us never been on a podcast before, so
be cool. Jesse's at the stables.
He's at the stables. He's
tending to his horses.
Jesus.
I wonder what Jesse thinks about the Dwayne Haskins signing, but we'll get to that on.
He liked it, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Steve also liked the draft pick, but that didn't age well either. So,
Justin, did you see that Houston is interviewing a coach?
Oh, Jim Caldwell.
Incorrect.
Oh, Eberflus.
Incorrect.
Oh yeah, Josh McCown.
There you go.
What a stupid ass move. Honestly, that'd be a great Texans hire.
It would, right?
Did he play for them?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it was a Texan.
Was he a Texan?
He was on like half the teams.
He was everything.
Literally.
No, you might be. Hold up, I need to look this up.
Speaking of coaches, I'm thinking of
Hoyer.
I think Hoyer was a Texan. I like the new Lions head coach. He's tough. He's cool.
Insane.
But like I said, I was watching his press conference and all the stuff he was saying about like chewing the legs off of people or whatever.
He was not a Texan.
McCown. Well, he's currently a Texan. Actually, he was their COVID reserve quarterback to avoid a Bronco situation.
That's funny.
Holy hell. This is a Bartolo Colon-esque rap sheet of names.
Yeah, but Bartolo's better.
Cardinals, Lions, Raiders, Dolphins, Panthers, Hartford Colonels, San Francisco 49ers, Chicago Bears, Buccaneers, Browns, Jets, Eagles, Texans. Insane.
You ever see the picture of like his daughter and all her friends all wore one of his jerseys?
Yeah, and the best thing is that was filmed before he went to the Jets, which is still 3 more teams now.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Well, those are our picks. I got Buffalo and Tampa Bay. You guys got Buffalo and the Packers. So Clark, where can people listen to all these podcasts?
Hey, you guys know what's up. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of the Sports Department Podcast. We appreciate it. Joe and Jesse appreciate it who aren't here with us. Make sure you guys subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Follow us on our social medias on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Sports Depth Pod. That's Sports DEPT Pod. Steve loves mouthing that along with me and tries to mess me up. I just start to laugh when he does it. But follow us there, subscribe. There's a UFC podcast that should be out right now that Steve did, so that's very exciting. UFC 257 it is? 257.
Clark's gonna try and get the illegal stream. I don't know if it's gonna work.
I'm not incriminating myself. I will be paying for UFC 257 through pay-per-view.
Well, you don't pay through
yes.
pay-per-view anymore. You have to go through ESPN Plus.
Through ESPN Plus. So yeah, that's coming. Possibly a wrestling recap. Not much happened in wrestling this week, so I don't know if that's going to be going on. But that, maybe another basketball one really, really soon. Breaking down a championship game. So all that fun stuff is coming. So stay tuned to that, and we'll see you in the next episode.